So I was flying to Denver to speak at their 50th commemoration of the founding of the yeshiva. And it's a beautiful place, Denver. I've never been there before, and the yeshiva is absolutely wonderful. It's like a pundok. It's like an oasis in the middle of a desert, a midbar. Beautiful. The atmosphere there's tremendous. The bochrim, you can see we're really happy there. A really great place. Anyway, on my way there, I had to stop in Minneapolis. Now, Minneapolis was my first sort of port of call, I guess you'd call it, a landfall in the United States. And of course, you have to go through immigration. I had a connecting flight, which was something like, I think, 2.5 hours after I landed. I only had hand luggage, so I thought 2.5 hours should be adequate, to say the least. So I get into the immigration line, and it's going very slowly. So I take a look at what's going on at the counter, and there's this rookie immigration officer who's got somebody standing behind him with his arms folded, like, sort of. He's like, obviously this guy does not know what he's doing. Now, they're pretty careful anyway, especially since Donald Trump is about to come into power, about who they let into the States as it is. But I was standing there an hour and 3/4 later, same line. So by this time, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. So I asked the people in front of me, do you mind if I've got a plane to catch? I'm going to miss my plane. Can I move up? So, 3 or 4 of them, very nice, said, yes, fine, no problem, I understand. And then I get to this guy and I said, do you mind if I go in front? He said, no. I said, I'm sorry, I've got a plane to catch, I'm going to miss the plane. He said, well, I've got a business meeting. Now, I don't know, it could be something to do with the fact that I had a beard and a black hat on my head. I'm not going to say. I have no idea what his motivations were. And let's face it, I guess he's within his rights it's his place. He doesn't have to give it up to me. Anyway, so I'm standing there tittering, as they say in Yiddish. I think this is, I'm going to miss the plane. I'm going to miss the plane. And then I realized that what happened is that all the lines which were admitting the US citizens, where they go through pretty quickly, they've now finished bringing all the US citizens in, not only from our flight, from the flight that came after us, and all of these, how do you say, dalpak in English, these stations, these immigration, stands were now free. And so it started to go really quickly. It's like, Baruch Hashem. Shuas Hashem b'cherifayin, wonderful, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. And I get through there, and I get to the scanner, and I go through the scanner as quickly as I can, and I manage to get to my gate, which is on the other side of the airport, of course, where else? Literally 5 minutes before they close the gate. I say, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. We made it. And I put my hand in my pocket to find my phone, and it's not there. So I search all my pockets, I turn all my pockets out, I turn my hand luggage out, it's not there. It's not there. So what do? I say, sir, I'm sorry, we have to close the flight. All I have in my pocket is Rabbi Aaron Wasserman, who's the Rosh Hashiva of the yeshiva's phone number, and no phone to call him on. I thought, what do? I have to miss the flight. I go back, maybe I left my phone at maybe it's still there, maybe somebody didn't steal it, maybe. So I figured out what must have happened was that in my rush, as I went through the scanners, I probably left it in one of the trays. So I get out of the gate there, just outside the gate. There's this very nice fellow. I think he was probably an Arab, but he was a very sweet guy. He said to me, "Can I I'll give you a ride back to the to International." So he said, "Just stick your wheelie, your hand luggage in the back, and we'll be off." So we speed over to International, and it's not there. And all the guys there were very, very nice. They all helped me. We looked through all of the trays, nothing. So now I'm getting a little bit, and he says to me, "Why don't you go over to the Central, or whatever, some place or other place?" He said, "Maybe it's there." I went over there. No. So he said to me, "Sir, maybe come back in a couple of days. I'm speaking the following night. Maybe come back in a couple of days, maybe in the lost and found." So at this point, I start to get really panicky. And I suddenly catch myself. I said to myself, this is an asoyan. This is what you've been learning about for all these years, this is it. There's a Ribbono Shel Olam in the world. What are you panicking for? This is Hashem is running the world, and this is a test. And I thought to myself, the lesson was that being in a Nesoyan, half of being in a Nesoyan is to recognize it's a Nesoyan. A lot of the time we get so verblunged, for tumult, for mixed up, and that we forget there's a Ribbono Shel Olam running the world, and he is putting you in this situation right now. Relax. So I went back to the other place, nowhere else to go. Oh, sir, we found your phone. It was one of the trays that they hadn't looked in. And then, of course, I turned around and I realized that I'd left my wheelie in the back of the truck, and the guy giving me the ride had now driven to the other side of the airport. Anyway, cut a long story short, they managed to, they have a walkie-talkie between the carts. I stopped another cart and he called. Besach HaKol, I think what I took away from that is that one of the most difficult things about a Nesoyan is to realize this is a Nesoyan. Is to catch yourself. Because once you realize you're in a Nesoyan, that's half of the accomplishment of being Oimid with Nesoyan.